Hi everyone, my name's Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today we're going to explore a new stamp set in our Holiday 2016 catalog, and it's called Jar of Haunts. The stamp set actually looks like this, and it coordinates with our Everyday Jars framelit set. And so you can see there's a couple of jars on the bottom, and then there's some various kind of creepy things you can put into the jars. Like, I'm not sure what that is, but it's kind of spooky. And then we have some eyeballs and some candy corn. I like the candy corn idea. But actually, the card that we're making today doesn't actually use the jars. We're going to be using the sweet pumpkin. I know when my kids were little, they used to get a little scared by some of the scarier Halloween things, so I thought I'd try to create a Halloween card that was maybe a little better for little kids, with the creepiest thing being on it just these little spiders. And then when you open it up, well, there are some scary eyes on the inside. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to make this darling card. The first thing that we're going to need is our card base. And I'm using Garden Green. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and then I've scored it at 4 1/4. So now we're going to go ahead and we'll just fold towards the score line. I'll give it a good press, and we'll also use our bone folder so it lies flat for us while we work with it. And then we're going to be using some Halloween night specialty paper. And the reason they call it specialty paper is there's 2 pieces of paper in this pack that have foil on them, and you can probably tell by how bright it shines up in the camera. This is a spiderweb foil, and then we have some silver dot foil. And so let me show you what the rest of the pack looks like. We've got some bats and some orange pieces of paper with some black stripes, some dotted paper, pumpkin paper. I love this piece of paper, and that's actually the one we're going to be using in the card today. And then it's got a spooky house, and then on the back, which I've seen used for many things beyond Halloween, is this awesome brick paper. Love that. That is just so versatile. So I love that this can be used for Halloween and beyond. And so the paper that we're using, as I mentioned, is going to be this pumpkin pie paper that sort of has that pumpkin stripe on it. So let me show you. This is our inside panel, and it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this right on the inside of our card. The little striped piece of pumpkin paper that we're using at the bottom from that Halloween Night Designer Series pack is 1/2 inch by 3 7/8 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my snail, and I'm just going to put this right in, center it in on this inside panel. Then I'm going to take these scary eyes, and using our Jet Black Memento Ink, I'm going to just go ahead and stamp these right here. And they look great just as is, but if you want to give them a little bit more life, it's kind of fun to add some marker. So this is our Peekaboo Peach from our 2016-18 in colors that I'm adding to the eyeballs here. Do that on both sides. And then I also have some Pear Pizzazz that I'm going to just kind of accentuate the bags under those eyes. And so there we have the kind of scary looking inside panel. And then for our outside, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with our basic black paper. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And we can go ahead and just glue this right onto the front of our card. So let me go ahead and do that. And then we can just set this right over the top, and we can wiggle it right into place. The next panel that we're going to be doing some stamping on is a piece of Whisper White, and I have this cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So this is where we're going to do our stamping. And so the first little thing that I'm going to stamp, and I'm going to bring a stamp mat in here. We are using photopolymer, so just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp the Happy Halloween down here in the lower left corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue down my panel of pumpkin pie. So this is 2 by 5, and it's just one of those strips from our Halloween Night Specialty Designer Series paper. So I'm going to put this on with some snail, and I'll just go ahead and put this flush with the top, and there it is, all in place. Now the next thing we need to do is prepare our pumpkin that's going to go right here. So what I did is I used our circles layering framelets, and what I used is the 5th largest straight circle and the 6th largest scallop circle. Now the way to tell which is which is I always start with the smallest circle, label that 1, but because you can't layer these on top of each other in order to store them, I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I just go back and forth. So what I did was I used the 5th largest straight circle and the 6th largest scallop circle. And let me show you how that works. So first we're going to stamp our pumpkin, and I am going to stamp him with some pumpkin pie ink. We'll just set him right here. And then we're going to stamp the stem on top of the pumpkin with some garden green. So let me do that, which looks like this. And then I want to do my coloring next. So I have a Pear Pizzazz marker, and I'm just going to color the stem in with Pear Pizzazz and also the leaf. And then the next thing is to take my Peekaboo Peach marker, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in the entire pumpkin. Once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead, take it over to the Big Shot machine and cut it out with the 5th largest straight edge framelit. And so I've done that in advance, and that's going to look like this. And here it is, all cut out. And now all I have to do is stamp the jack-o'-lantern face on top. So again, I'm using my Memento Jet Black ink, and I've inked up the jack-o'-lantern face. I can just go in here and I'll see right where I need to stamp it. Lift it away, and there we have our pumpkin face. And then I'm going to use the 6th largest scalloped framelit, which I've done here, and I'll be layering this little pumpkin right over the top of that basic black cutout. So let me do that with a little bit of our snail. And that just goes on just like this. And it's so cute. So now let's go ahead and get back to our card, and let's figure out where we need to put those spiders. So I'm just going to lay the pumpkin here loosely because I know I want him to go there, but I need him there so I know where to stamp the little spiders. So again, I'm going to bring the stamp mat back into the picture. And then I'm going to ink up that little spider. And I'm going to stamp the first spider about right here. And again, I'm using Memento Jet Black ink. I'm going to stamp that second spider about right here. And then we'll put a third spider down here on the Designer Series paper about right here. And then all we need to do to finish this out, at least on the spiders, is draw in webs. To do that, I'm just going to take a ruler, and I'm just going to make sure that my ruler is running parallel to the edge of my card. I'm going to use my Project Life marker, and I'll just go ahead and draw in those lines representing the spider web. And then one more. And for this one, I want to make sure that I don't go up here because I don't want that web line showing all the way up here. I'm going to have it sort of dangling from that circle. So we'll just put that one about that far. And then we can go ahead and we'll put some dimensionals on the back of this piece. As you can see, I use 3 dimensionals on the back of this pumpkin. And then we can go ahead and set him in just like so. That is so adorable. And then we'll go ahead and we'll actually put this on the front of our card, and I'm going to use a little bit of snail for that. So just 3 strips down the length of the card, and then we'll go ahead and just center this in and give it a good press. The next thing that we're going to do is add just a tiny bit of bling. I mean, the card is perfect as is, but we can make it even cuter if we add a little bit of bling. So I have some Stampin' Up! Rhinestones here, and these are the smallest of the 3 rhinestone sizes. I'm just going to pick each rhinestone up with my paper piercing tool, and then I'll just set this a little bit, like maybe, I don't know, maybe not quite a ½ inch up from where that little spider is dangling. And so we'll put 3 rhinestones on the web, and then we're going to go ahead and we'll put another rhinestone right here at the base of the Halloween sentiment, just like so. And then one more rhinestone right here just at the corner of where that stem comes into the pumpkin. And so here is the completed card, and it looks just adorable. And here's the card I had done in advance. Thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. I truly appreciate you. If you're interested in placing a Stampin' Up! Order, please see my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com, and there's links there that will take you to my online store. Have a great day. Bye-bye.